Alright everyone, so we're gonna have a look at the new Post Honkai Odyssey and gonna look at almost all the aspects that we have so far because we don't have access to every single thing until the official release. So stuff like the story are currently being kept under wraps. Even the beta testers ourselves do not have access to any part of the story. And so, there are a lot of interactions that are limited, but, for everything else, especially anything to do with gameplay, they are working fine. So this room right here is where we go to progress to the next story, or the next part of the story, when we complete different chapters. As I said earlier, for now, there are no interactions that we can access. There's just the kid version of Velt coming out and apologizing for that all the time. But yeah, that's the way it is. I don't really mind, actually. Anyway, at the bottom left of the screen, as you can see, there is a level. For a current event, there will be rewards, so that's great. Don't miss that out when it comes out, but for any other server that's not the Chinese server, that will take a while. So when we get to, I think, level 4 or 5, yeah, I know, it's not like overview videos where I'm really detailed anyway. So when we get to the level, open world level, we do unlock this, not unlike the other open worlds that we have. The red cores, as you see, are for the protagonist, the blue ones are for May, and the yellow ones are for Carol Pepper. So these are used with that little crystal that you see there to upgrade their skills, and I think it would be wise to choose and focus on one character. Like, if you're going for upgrading May rapidly, more so than the other two characters, then always go for blue, and so on. So as you can see here, each of them has a skill tree like that, and each of them has 29 skill nodes. So some of these skills, like, when you learn them, they do have those animations around. Other than that, they're mostly all just descriptions, like your normal skill list. And I will be showing you guys the translations later in the video, but for now, let's keep moving. So these are the maps. Essentially, we're using the same map, and they're segregated for the story, and we do have side story quests as well. As you can see on the top right of the screen, it shows 2 for story, and then there's 5 for the quests that I picked up for the open world. And back to the open world, initially we only have like a small part of the entire map to run around in, and then we can slowly unlock different parts of the map by leveling up in the open world level, and like the other open worlds, the max level is 30. And last of all, these are spawn points. You can choose where to spawn, or when you're actually in the open world, you can use these as fast teleport points, or fast movement points. That's what you call them. So yeah, you can get from place to place. I imagine you'll be able to unlock more than just 2 once you get to further parts of the map. So like the other open worlds, we do have stealth kills, and I do currently have a quest. That's why at the side you can see 2600. That is the amount of crystals I have to collect. And as you can see down there, there is a boss. So let's try this out. Okay, it's not stopping me. So before that, when I attack bosses that are higher than my open world level, May would actually jump in and stop you from fighting it. But here it's not doing that, so let's come back in. Okay, that wasn't what I planned to do. But anyway, we're back here, and yeah, we're just gonna take that guy out and accept the quest. I'm not too sure what quests I accepted. I don't usually know in the other open worlds anyway. Oh, it's this guy. Oh god. Oh, good. So, this guy, we have to attack him 3 times. Once you hit him once, he turns invulnerable, and he'll just keep running away. And you can try chasing him, or, he actually runs a fixed route. So you can just, you see, he's really predictable, and, oh, so it's kind of changed. So, they made this change, I reported it, I didn't expect them to do a change that quickly, so it's a really good job, by the staff of MiHoYo. Initially, like, when we're doing this quest, this jump booster on the ground would disappear, and so, that, monster would just jump out and not come back. Or maybe it would, I'm not too sure, but the first time I did it, it did not come back and just left me hanging. So I reported that and they made a change immediately. Well, good job, guys. And yeah, so these are the other quests. They're really straightforward. You see those skulls on top of the enemies. Those are the enemies that are part of the quest. Once you defeat them, the quest is completed. There are also tons of these explosive crystals that are all over the place. Be careful because they can hit you as well, but on the bright side, you can use them to trigger an ultimate evasion, and you can actually blow enemies away. So let's see, I'm just gonna let it hit me. Okay, I don't want to get detected first. It deals quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure if it still does, but I think it did quite a bit the first time I got hit by it. Or maybe I was, like, at a very low level. But anyway, oops. Oh, still got hit by it. Anyway, that did not deal a lot of damage, so cool. So unlike the other open worlds, we only have 3 characters, or so far we only have 3 characters. Who knows how many we'll have when the game is released. But, yeah, you want to be careful with your HP because of that. Also, you know, if this is your first look at Honkai, and you're worried about, like, this game having a gacha aspect to it, or being, like, P2W, as people would call it, do not worry. There are only a handful of skills that require you to have Valkyries in the actual Honkai Impact, and those Valkyries are farmable. But even if you don't want to farm for them, those skills aren't necessary anyway, so the game is completely free to play. Alright, so now I'm just going to show you guys all the basic moves, and then I'm going to show you guys the descriptions that have been translated. But it's not like an overview, so I'm just going to show you guys here, and then you're going to read those by themselves. So we do have 3 evasions instead of just 2. We also have a jump, which is essentially a double jump if you want to use that. And then we have the ground basic attacks, 6 hits for the main character, and an air combo attack. So it's 4 hits plus spike. That last hit is not counted as the basic combo sequence, it's called spike. And you'll find out later when you're reading the skills why they call it spike instead. So when you charge, or, you know, it's basically combo attack or charge, it launches enemies, and in the air they each have their own version of an air combo attack. For the main character, he spins downwards, and he'll keep spinning from wherever you start. So if you do it from a really high place, like here, he'll just keep spinning all the way down. And as you'll read later, he does have the ability to increase his damage relative to the amount of time he's spending spinning in the air. So on to Mei. She has a shorter ground combo, but has a longer air combo as compared to the main character. So that is her launch, or, you know, ground combo attack, and this is her air combo. So it has a lot more hits, and she deals lightning damage, and this is her air combo attack. It traces enemies, so it's really useful for closing gaps. And then we have Carol Pepper. So, like the main character, she is a new character being introduced only in the Post Honkai Odyssey. Her weapons are basically 2 extremely huge gloves or gauntlets, whichever you want to call them, and she does slow but heavy attacks. So she only has 3 hits in her ground basic combo, and or ground basic attack sequence, whichever you call them, and she has a charge attack like Bronya's cannons, which has 3 levels on the ground and 2 levels in the air. She also only has 1 normal attack in the air, but she can keep bouncing enemies, so if you, like, do it from a high... You can't do it on these enemies, but I'm just showing you, like, you know, she drops slower, right? So if you do it from, like, a higher starting point, you can, like, keep bouncing enemies, and, yeah, you can do that for maybe 2 or 3 times, most of the time. So yeah, that's a really basic look at their in-game mechanics, you know, simplified so you actually know what's going on when you watch gameplay videos. And I will be releasing maybe 1 or 2 gameplay videos, so check them out on the channel. And I'm gonna leave you guys with the translations of all their skills. But before that though, there is just one thing I'll have to bring to your attention. So if you look at the green text, this says passive permanent, and this says ability requires activation. So the difference between skills like that is that right here, you'll see this menu. So this menu right here is gonna allow you to change your passives and select your ultimate. So each character has 2 ultimates, and you can bring whichever suits your playstyle. And that's really nice, you know, you can customize them. It'd be nice to be able to bring 2 ultimates, but, you know, I get the point. So yeah, that's all I have to show you guys. And now for real, let's move into the translations of the skills.